What we can do is understand this process that the PDA brain does. And this is tricky too because we're autistic and we often really need routine. And the PDA brain, again, is 100 steps ahead of us. It will recognize a pattern, a sequence of events that leads to injury. When I say injury, something that's really hard, triggers our nervous system, exhausts us, requires us to mask, flies in the face of PDA resistance. Classic example, a child going to school may wake up in the morning, they might have Twilight Zone glow in the dark stickers on their roof. It's the first thing they see. They might not even be conscious of that or think about it. But the PDA brain works off sensory input, so it notices everything. Laying there, we've just woken up, we're feeling that anxiety, but we're thinking, no, I'm going to have a good day. It's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm just going to get moving. But the PDA brain is taking in all the sensory information, what it can smell, hear, taste, see, and feel. It might be the same blanket, the same food that we eat every morning, hearing music in the kitchen when mum's cooking, seeing the Twilight Zone stickers or teddies on the shelf. To begin with, the child might be able to get out, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to school. When we start something, we can do it for a limited time. Even when we love something and we want to return to it, if it triggers our nervous system, then we don't get a choice about what happens. The PDA nature is going to start getting really skilled at recognizing the pattern leading up to the injury, which is going to school. We might wake up and we'll be able to get dressed and eat food and we'll get to the car, but then we can't get through the gate into the classroom because PDA's gone, oh, I remember this place. It's like when you take a dog into the vet to get neutered and the dog loves the vet, but it's been neutered before and it remembers. And the next time you go to the vet, it's, oh no, that's a bit like PDA. I can't believe I just came up with those. I might have to edit that one out. What happens then is we might get to school and then we can't get out of the car. And then we might not be able to get out the front door to get in the car. It will begin to scale back and scale back. We will be less and less able to get on with that routine because PDA sees it and recognizes it and is trying to protect us from harm. So what we can do is something very simple and very subtle. The best way to communicate with the nervous system is through our sensory channels. No amount of talking is going to be helpful in a situation like that, because if it was as simple as affirmations or positive thinking or talking, there'd be no PDA. There'd be no PDA. This is nervous system communication, and we have to use our senses. What we do is change up the environment in subtle ways. Something as simple as having a new smell in the house in the morning. It could be burning a new oil, putting a new pot plant somewhere. Our children, even non-PDA autistic people, we have an escalated nervous system. And we notice, this is why we notice every single change, every single detail. Haircuts, new shoes, somebody talking differently, somebody's house has changed because they've got a new shelf. Autistic people, or a lot of neurodivergent people, will pick up on that instantly. But a PDA, I'm surprised we're not shouting out the window on the way to the person's house, I've got a feeling they've got a new shelf on the wall. I can feel it in my waters. PDA is so much like that. If we make it too noticeable with the change, that can escalate the nervous system as well. Cooking a different food to provide a different smell. Now, what happens when we do this? We throw a spanner in the works. We confuse the PDA. So instead of waking up and seeing the Twilight Zone stickers, if that wasn't there and we put something else there or nothing at all, and we wake up, we look at the roof and there's nothing, we go, what? And then the attention is diverted away from the school routine to being baffled that the stickers are gone. Around every 6 weeks, I change all the trinkets on my desk. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to come here and work. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I start to feel the heaviness. I used to say, "What's wrong with me? I love what I do. Nothing bad has happened. What is it?" But the truth is, my nervous system is activated all the time in my work. And I may not be conscious of it, but it could be an email from someone, being quite nasty. Service, customer service. And it's stuck with my nervous system. My consciousness has let it go, but my nervous system never lets anything go. I'm PDA. It hangs on to that information and consolidates it in my limbic system so that I won't be traumatized again. PDA hangs on to everything. This is where trauma comes from. The nervous system, sustaining and maintaining those awful injuries. So I change everything in my desk now. I put new things, new fidget spinners, lovely things to look at, and I'm able to return. Sometimes I might need to change the angle of my desk. It could be plants. Changing things up, too much change will trigger the nervous system. So it's changing up the environment, the sensory information.